Hello everybody, my name is Forklift and welcome to the Uncle Sham podcast.
Hello everybody, I am the Forklifter and I'm back again. Happy to have you all here. And today we've got a few topics, but mainly they stem around a topic provided by one of our very valuable listeners. So today we're going to talk about relationships again.
Exactly.
But more specifically, some sort of, I guess, do's and don'ts, and just we'll get rolling into other topics as well. So yeah, first off, like, what do you think is very important in relationships, romantic?
Yeah. Like, I think for like majority of the show's history, we've been focusing on pre-relationships and
Exactly.
The dynamics that lead to a good relationship. But now we're talking about once you get into one. So what was your question?
So what is important, or what is some good aspects to maintain in a relationship as you're sort of,
I think,
either in the transition
Like
between friendly and romantic, or just maintaining that romantic relationship?
Yeah. Well, I think it's obviously you've got to be like nice to each other.
Yeah.
And then always, think about what you like about the other person.
Exactly.
No, don't focus on the negatives. That'll get you very far.
Yeah, I mean, in life as well, I think that's a very good thing. It's just...
Yeah, like, I think there's a degree of criticism you have to have outwardly with the world, but inwardly with the relationship. If you want it to last, you've got to be positive.
Yeah, and in life, you can criticize things as well. And you definitely should be critical of different things that are happening.
Yeah.
But there also should be that aspect of almost rebellious optimism where, like,
Yeah, exactly.
in spite of everything, you're still like, no, there are still beautiful things in
Yeah.
the world. Trees are awesome. All these animals here, if you have a cat or a dog, you're like, oh, my cat or dog is beautiful.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And that's also goes for relationships. Like, sure, you may have gotten into like a little argument because you were tired or hungry, but the relationship itself and the person in front of you is still like a beautiful person.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that idea of rebellious optimism. I think it's like something you gotta kind of have, but also you've got to have that ability to kind of break your own self down, like in front of the mirror, and just kind of like laugh at who you are, because like who we are is like who we are, and like some people are like just some people take themselves too seriously, and that will get in the way of a relationship. And if you don't just like laugh at yourself and you just look at yourself and you think, yeah, I'm kind of dumb sometimes.
Yeah, we can all be dumb.
Yeah, like if you don't acknowledge that you're dumb or have flaws, like you're not going to get far in life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's also very necessary to be able to do that. Is necessary almost for your ability to be optimistic. Because if you're too serious about yourself and like every little slight against you is like a massive issue.
Yeah.
Because you're like, no, I'm super like serious about myself and I'm super awesome. Like everything that happens to me is terrible. Like, then you lose your ability to see past that, or see past yourself and see like, further, like the community or the person in front of you in your relationship. And then you're like, no, actually you made me feel bad. So I'm going to make you feel bad in this relationship. And we're just going to I'm just going to be mean to you because I feel bad right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not going to last.
No. And then you're just ruining your relationship because you're like,
I think
a bit too, unhappy with yourself or serious about everything.
Yeah. And like if you reach that point, it's just like you've just got to try and be positive. You just got to be happy. Like
it's really like you've got to force yourself mentally. You've got to like break your habits and break your like mentality of looking for like negative things, and you've got to be like, no, I'm going to look for some positive stuff. And you've got to like physically every day be like, say it or write it down or something. Be like,
if you need to say it, if you need to write it down, I mean, definitely always say it.
Yeah.
Like I'd always recommend,
especially to your partner as well. Like, every day you need to be like complimenting them and saying like real stuff about them that you like
exactly.
Not just, oh, you're pretty, like that's a nice thing.
Yeah, that's like,
but also like
something you could say to anybody anytime.
Exactly. Also be like, I like the way you handled this, or I like the way that you can do this and I can't, or like
it's good.
I like the way that you can read things that I can't read, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You're just pointing on positives that are just long lasting aspects of the person, as well as just like little things in the moments.
Yeah.
Like those positive moments are always really good.
Yeah.
I think you can you can kind of have a good time no matter where you are, no matter what's happened, as long as you just keep it happy and light and simple.
Yeah.
Like you'll find there's like always going to be like your partner should be someone in life that no matter where you are, you can just still like look at each other and go like you can still have a bit of a hey, that was like, you know, one of those like little moments just of just like hey yo, like
just some drama could be happening with the couple in front of you, or across like, from the table, and you're just looking at them like ooh,
yeah, and you're like hey, thank God that's not me.
You're like, thank God we're us, you know.
Yeah. Like I think that should be a thought that you have. Like I think in most of life you shouldn't be like egotistical, and you shouldn't be braggadocious, and you shouldn't be show-offy about anything except maybe your relationship. Yeah, but internally, a little couple, private like, thought. You should.
If you can go after a function like, and be like, we're better than them.
Like if you can have that idea of like, we're better than them. But that should be like the private. It's just a
private little thing between you two. That like that's a nice little thing that you can be like.
You should have that mentality because like you're gonna be you've got to be a unit. I think like you've got to be more like you've got to be like good friends as well.
Yeah, you got to have
and you've got to be from the same world. I think we've talked. Yeah, jokes. Yeah, exactly.
And just have that like general like similar sort of vibe, like you know that general understanding of one another.
Yes.
You know, and that can develop over time. You know, you don't start with that necessarily. You can start with it, but you don't necessarily.
What do you mean, like the general vibe between?
Just to understand, like the general understanding, like there is always
you'll never get that in, like you'll never start with that in life because no matter who you meet, you're always going to have a bit of like unknownness to the next person, like that's in front of you, like even, like so that's very fair if you don't start with that vibe of like we completely get each other. Like I feel like you've got to get along very well to even get into a relationship in the first place. But once you're in it, you should be like fully committed. And fully happy and like committed to being happy and being positive.
And just that's
I think because you've got to have the mindset of progressivism,
of course,
and always to progress and further. And another key to longevity is goal setting.
Yeah,
like and you need to have innovation and just innovatively working your way around ideas because like what you need to have is you need to have the next 5 years of your life and your partner's life worked out every couple of months. Like you need to rehash that idea.
You need to be like looking back and saying, okay, well, how have we traveled the last few months?
How have we been doing? And that went well, that went well, that went well. Like me and Jade's priority was over the last 12 months or so, it's been increase our friendship with other people to like 12 friends plus. I don't know if it's been going that well. I think it's been going very well. Like, and we rewired our priorities to become, let's become friends with people. Let's try and hang out with a different set of friends every weekend. Let's try and see at least a friend a weekend, 2 friends a weekend. And we try and keep that priority. And we do that. We say, which avenues can we try and make more friends? Which avenues can we try and be friendly with people and try our best to get along with more people outside of each other? Because there is a massive thing that happens. Well, I don't know what happened. Uh-oh, what did I say? Outside of each other?
No, you didn't say anything. I'm just looking at you taking your socks off.
I'm just taking my sock off. Is it? Oh, it's on the camera.
I just looked at the camera and I saw like your feet.
I should like tuck it into my... Just taking my sock off while we're talking.
That might be like a bit of a blooper or an outtake.
How about, but, that looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, that looks good. I was trying to keep it together, man.
I didn't realize how funny that would be.
I looked at the camera and I just saw
it wasn't that funny.
It wasn't even that funny.
Maybe it was.
I just looked at the camera and I saw just
me just like
foot, like, and I was like, oh, they can see that.
Should have put my shoes on or something.
But that's a really good point.
Like just expanding friendship is a really good way to just like keep your life in check because like you need like in my opinion you need like 12 friends beside yourself and your partner. Like your partner can be like one of your friends, but like at least have 11 more people because like you're never going to develop as a person if you don't. Like if your personality comes from YouTube or, you know, you're like, oh, my friends are like Curtis Connor. It's like, Curtis Connor's not your friend. Like you need to be with people in the real world, people that you can see doing just like normal things. I think you're going to lead to a very bad mental health place if you're just watching YouTube and hanging out with your partner.
Yeah, and if you're just
watching
doing that like
you know, TV.
Yeah. If you just do that, like, it can also just lead to, like, almost cabin fever with your partner. Like,
and then you'll hate each other.
If you're living with them and then you're, like, not hanging out with anyone else, you can just get, like, not sick of each other, but you feel like you are, like...
Yeah, but you either become super... I think you can go two ways. There's probably a third way that I'm not considering, but you either go to a point where you become super independent and you kind of just like, I don't really like, you stop that kind of novelty of like that one special person in your life, and then you just kind of become like a bit frictiony because you're gonna hate the person because, especially if you're not prioritizing positives, you're just going to be hating them and you're going to be irritated by whatever they do. You did that wrong, you did that wrong, you did that wrong. Like, especially if you're one-on-one with them all the time. Or you'll just become like hyper-dependent. You'll go places and you'll be like, speak for me. It's like, before me, you had to speak to people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you don't do that kind of outward friendliness, you'll reach a point where you'll go to the point where you'll fall on each other and you'll be like, I don't want to hang out with you. I just want to hang out with you every weekend. It's like, that's not good.
Yeah.
Because, I think a lot of people in relationships have been in that situation.
Yeah.
And then you've got other people who are going into the other situation of like, I hate that. I hate you now. It's like,
and if you're in any of those situations, you can change it.
You can change it. I mean, you always at least have at least one friend, some rando friend that you knew at least at one point in your life that will want to hang out tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, just text them up and be like, yo, let's hang out.
Yeah. Like, you can just, like, if they say no, just ask someone else. Yeah. Like, you'll know at least someone. Like,
and if you have a job, if there's like someone really cool at work, like,
just talk to people at your work.
Yeah, exactly.
Make friends with anyone. I think it's important to and I think that actually does segue very well into our concept of the episode.
It really does, which is sort of independence and maintaining your independence and your sense of self in a relationship. Boop, boop, boop. But so for me, I've been in a relationship for almost a year and a half. Maintaining independence is super important, especially as we've moved in, a few months ago, nearly 3 months ago now. And
this house or?
Yeah, to this house.
Oh, cool. Yes.
We've actually been living together for
a while before that.
Yeah, almost a while now, almost more than a year actually.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And maintaining independence, and you still have a job, you still have like your social life outside of that person, you still have your best friend, your workmates or whatever, you still have your various activities that you do if you have activities, and it's very important to keep that. For me, I go to like labor branch meetings and like young labor stuff, and you got to keep those things because if you lose that, eventually you're going to think your partner did that to you.
That's true. I've never had that thought.
You're going to project that loss of your life and your independence onto them.
Yeah.
And you're going to cause issues if there aren't already.
Because you're going to have this underlying resentment that'll build.
Yeah, and if you feel like you're restricted in an unreasonable way, you're gonna feel like
an unreasonable analysis of that restriction. Is that what you mean?
If you feel like you're unreasonably being restricted.
You know what
I mean? You're gonna feel like you're gonna feel like a rabbit in a small cage. You're just gonna feel like you want to bounce around everywhere, and you're gonna be so like high strung because of it, because you feel like you can't do anything. So like being free while still like obviously considering your partner is important, and maintaining yourself and your independence and your life is really important, both within your partnership and outside of that. Is super important.
Your relationship, that's exactly right. Like, I think, our key thing of this episode is to talk about independence from your partner, but not losing your partner.
Yeah, and not becoming too blasé with it.
Exactly.
To a point where either one of you is like, I actually don't care about what you do. Don't want to hear about it. I don't even want to see you, actually.
Which, Yeah, like from my analysis, I guess, like, well, what I would say is, like, each member of the partner, like each member of this, relationship, the two sides should always have their own friends and their own life and their own interests and their own TV and their own YouTube, then you should have your own share. You should have the shared stuff, the interlapping stuff. Like when there's a new Geordie's video, me and Jade will watch it together.
Nice.
But when there's a new Curtis Danny, that's her stuff.
Yeah.
When there's new my left wing, my movie analysis or my like Marxist socialist stuff, I watch that by myself.
Yeah.
So like we have our middle ground, which is Geordie's.
Yeah.
We watch a whole bunch of stuff together, but then I have my left wing movie, just all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
She has her comedy things. Yeah. And it's like
same with me and Lou.
Yeah. So it's like that's a big aspect of it. I have my friends, like, well, Jade is your friend as well, but I have other friends. I have work friends. I have people. I don't know. I don't have a lot of friends outside of Jade and I, but I have a lot of friends that I've introduced Jade to.
Yeah, exactly.
But I still have, like you and I can talk a lot better than you and her can.
Yeah.
And then like me and Ryan, we got a lot of people, but we also like invite them to hang out with us.
Yeah.
Or
even like, maintaining independence.
Also, I have a lot of like old guy friends, like old, friends that are just like old guys that you see every once in a while.
You're just like, oh, hey,
it's that guy. It's like, who's that? It's like, oh, that's that old guy.
Yeah,
She's
you
like,
walk around
cool.
She's like, walking around like Grand Central or something.
You just
you're like, oh, that guy.
I was like,
and Jade's like, oh, who's that? Or like,
for
me, like Lou is like, oh, who's that? And you're like, oh, just this like person.
I know him from here. You're like, oh, cool.
I actually met his like second cousin's uncle's brother at the barbecue, and then we just started talking. Like, you always have this like random connections. But I think as well, a part of this is like, you can maintain independence all your life while still including your partner. Like, my partner Lou, she hangs out with us like, pretty frequently. I would still say like, even though she's there and hanging out with that's still like, I still think that is contributing to our relationship. Yeah. And obviously there are times like now where we're just hanging out together.
Yeah, exactly,
you've got to have both. Not everything can just be with your partner, but the times when you are with your partner hanging out with like what you would consider like more your friends, that's still like, somewhat maintaining your life. And,
I think it's a good way to do an alternative way to quality time, because I think it's really good to have that quality time to become the kind of entity that is a relationship. But it's also a good unique version of a quality time that a lot of new couples will experience, where you're seeing your partner in a way that is so independent to how you know them.
Yeah, and
because
also
it's like
really good to sort of what am I trying to say? Right?
I think it's good to like expand your knowledge of how your partner is around people.
Exactly,
like there's like these TikToks I see of like when you meet his friends and they're all like terrible people, you're like, no, like you're like, uncritical people would be like, oh no, but he's good. Like, this group is bad, but he's the good one out of them. But it's like, no, you've got to critically analyze and break down. You could be like, well, if all of his friends are right wingers and like say bad things and awful, and just really derogatory people, he's probably
like that, but he's just presenting a different facet to you.
Like he's probably internally like that. Like, you are a result of your top 7 people that you'll hang out with. 7 to 9, whoever's around you, like they'll all there.
You're going to basically become a mushed up version,
semi-combined entity of that.
Obviously, your top 3 people are going to be the most prevalent in that sort of combination, but the top 9 people are going to be somewhere in that combination, and you're going to become one of the good youth mixed.
If you have good friends, you're going to become a good person.
But if you're not with good people, you're also going to see yourself slip into things that you didn't know you would do.
I think when you and I remember when you and I would hang out like one-on-one, I think we would spend so much time just like talking to each other, just like synthesizing ideas. A lot of our conversations between each other were just like, what is this? How does that relate to a structured system? Like I think we would just be like, what is the system here? How does that system operate? How does that system make people feel? And how does that impact the world? Like we'd be like Tinder socks. Tinder is a capitalist mechanism.
It's just a way to commodify people.
It's a market.
It's a dating market. It's
like we were like that is
this idea of like, demand versus supply.
And we'd critically analyze things together.
And we'd be like, I hate this for this reason, or I like this for this reason. Like,
and then for that, like that would lead us, because we were like in an academic sphere, I think it would lead us better into academia.
Like when we were at uni, we'd be talking about other things, but then like when we went to do our like analytical essays or something, we'd be like, wait, actually, like,
But,
because
like-
I spent all this time analyzing something
Yeah.
else, I can analyze something else.
It was interesting because we'd spend a lot of time synthesizing and kind of breaking down the underpinnings of like ideas and stuff. It was and then like that just leads me, because we were doing that so much, it just led me to like doing that myself.
Yeah, and
we
you
would
sort of
have
do that in your
we would come to
relationships
each
and then
other
as well. Like, you know,
remember we would like come back to each other with all these like ideas of like, or like last night I started breaking down what you were saying earlier, and I started thinking about that,
and
or I
sort of,
started,
you go away and you like we'd do stuff, or we'd like work or whatever we were doing for that like day or week, and
And
we'd be
then
like, oh, actually,
we'd be then like now whenever we see things, we both have weirdly similar ideas about it. We'll see this and we'll be like this. That remember we were like looking at we're looking at TVs or something. We're like, oh no, and then we both saw the same. We were like, yeah, that means it's good. Because you'll find that I think you'll find that in your relationships. Like if you work to like analyze things through a particular frame, you'll see things.
And
like
if you
in
think
that
and
same
talk
way.
together, you're going to not just understand each other better, but also become more similar in the way that you think and the way you act.
And it kind of makes things easier in life. Like you're never ever gonna, you may not, should I say, you run into the situation where your girlfriend hates everything you buy her. Or everything
because you're going to be like, oh, we talked.
I already know that.
We talked about this thing, and I remembered, oh, actually, she liked that thing, or she hated that thing, so I'm not going to get it for her. Like,
I think, and I think that's the thing that you've got to do. I think for me personally, if you want to be friends with someone, you've got to synthesize with them. You have to you have to think with them.
You've
you have
got
to
both
like
contribute
work
to this like collective, like
you have to be a part of the collective. Like
well, exactly, and not just that, but like together you have to synthesize thought and contribute to this collective thought. Like this sort of,
because you have
this
to have a
weird
direction,
bubble of thought and ideas and creativity between two or more people.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that even when you're independent to each other, like, you've got to have your own friends, you've got to have your own life, you've got to do your own things and work your own job. And, even when you're in the house together, like for me, because I don't get a lot of time with Jade in my day, I have to spend 8 hours at an office, and the time before and after I'm just preparing and leaving. Whereas like I think we spend a lot of time together, and then when we spend it together, we just kind of, we've been together for so long, or we just generally talk about things or look at things or observe things together and just kind of laugh at things. Like we do that, but then we also have to go off and spend each other. Like I think young uni relationships where you'd probably spend like majority of your day together, that's where you'd end up in that internal kind of that kind of, how would you say it, cabin fever. It feels kind of like that. It feels like you're both, for both parties, in my opinion, it kind of feels like you're both required to spend all your time with this person, but also you don't really want to. Like, really, like I think for me, it's like when I first met Jade, it was way too hard for me to like even peel myself away because I only wanted to hang out with her.
No, same. But like when you get to that cabin fever stage,
and then you're like,
you think that you're like required to, but then you don't actually want to,
because it's like man, like. Because I see you all the time.
You've been seeing them like 24/7 for like so long, and then you're like, wait, I actually don't like this, and then you're just like, all the time you spend together, even though it's all the time, it doesn't feel like quality or positive time because it always just turns negative, or
because you've just especially the mindset around it as well.
And if like one of the two people is like super negative, that's just going to cause both people to be negative.
I think
if you're spending all your time together.
And I think one thing that we've overlooked so far is probably controlling people.
Actually,
like people that are controlling in nature. Like you can't do this, you have to do this, or which is definitely. Like, it's an intimidating thought, and I think we've both been a victim in some ways to someone who's been controlling. At least a friend who's been controlling, or a person who's just like. Like you and I have both known people together who've been.
For me, my first two major relationships were very controlling situations.
I think, and I've had, you can in those kind of like I don't know. I'd say my advice to people in controlling relationships is, I don't know, leave. It's a very uncritical, very unbalanced thought because it's like, oh, there's so much more nuance, but it's like, just leave. I can't say anything more.
It really depends. For me, I would definitely say that's not a bad idea.
It's not. It also depends on because it overlooks what the results of leaving could be.
Because you might not be able to, but
exactly.
You also might not want to for various reasons.
That's true.
If you don't want to, sometimes that might be because you're controlled and you're sort of being not brainwashed, but gaslit into thinking that you really should love this person. But other times, it's just because through mutual sort of lack of awareness, you've kind of both stumbled into this weird situation where you're mutually possessive or controlling, and sometimes it's getting into those situations is sometimes less malicious than you first think. A lot of the time it obviously will come from sort of
you never start something knowing that it's going to be bad, I guess.
But also the controlling person often they're probably not great, but sometimes it can start off fine, and then it can lead into negativity or controlling. Sometimes that's because they're a narcissist and they know how to manipulate people. Other times that can just be because both parties sort of stumbled into this weird situation where they're they have this unhealthy sort of attachment style sometimes, or this sort of unhealthy level of distrust in one another, or one person distrusts the other person. And that, insecurity or anxiety or sort of mental state can just lead into going, I don't want you doing this, I don't want this happening, or and sometimes you are allowed to air your concerns. If your partner's doing something that you're like, oh, I'm actually really not okay with this. And
oh yeah, if you're not happy with something that your partner's doing, you got to tell them about that.
But also, you have to be willing to understand and talk to them and be like, is this actually valid for me to be unhappy about? Is this something I should be having an opinion on?
Critically, am I making a mistake by being concerned about this?
If, for example, in this theoretical universe where, you accidentally impregnate a woman, just this theoretical man is impregnated this woman, that but he doesn't believe in abortion, but they're not really in a relationship or something, I don't know. Or even if they are in a relationship, but she is not in a space to have a child, that should be up to her.
Exactly.
He should, sure, maybe he can air some concern because he contributed the sperm, but also he just had a good time. He doesn't have to carry that child, so he shouldn't really have.
It's not his responsibility, so it's not his weight to bear.
If he thinks about it and listens, he should get to that conclusion of, I shouldn't actually be concerned about this.
Drop the ego and just kind of
let
somebody else.
This is not something I actually have the right to comment on because it's not my body or my decision.
Or not his body, not his choice.
Exactly.
You've just got to let people. It's not even. Exactly. That's exactly right, and I think that actually goes for so many other things.
There's
in life.
a lot less clear.
That's a clear,
but that's a very clear.
That's the clear option. But there's also things like clothes and shoes. It's like, oh, I don't like that you like those shoes, but it's like, but I like them, so I'm going to wear them.
If they like something, just let them like it.
I think that's the thing. You just got to you got to accept them for who they are. You can't just form them into the shape that you want.
If they like something that's very anti to you as a person, if they're a Nazi,
you wouldn't. Well, don't relate.
Probably don't date them.
Just break up with them.
But if it's just something that's not even destructive,
if it's a shirt that's kind of gross, but it's not too bad. It's
just don't worry about it. If they play Fortnite and you don't like Fortnite, just let them play Fortnite.
Just let them play it when you're not there.
As long as they're not being overly I
think there's a limit.
There's a limit to that. I'm not saying let them play Fortnite 24 hours a day and never talk to you and just be completely uncaring, but there's a line to everything.
If you've got someone like that, you should probably just. You should either pull it together or just say goodbye.
Exactly.
I think that's the thing. It's
all of these things, I think
there's.
It's not 1 or 0. It's not binary.
No.
You know? But like, you can still be like, oh, I don't like Fortnite, but they play Fortnite. That's okay.
Yeah,
as long
that's
as it's not damaging to your relationship, and like, as long as you're still getting to see them, spend time with them, talk to them, communicate with them, and they have time to do whatever they want in their life, you know, to a certain extent, obviously.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Check out we're going for time. Oh, we're good.
But yeah, like, there are
really
limits to that as well. If they're going out and doing drugs, you probably have a responsibility to air concern about that. Yeah. Either because you're concerned about their health or welfare, or you're concerned about your welfare from having that around you.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that you can probably air concern about. But other things...
There's a limit, there's like a critical limit to, and I think what having friends can really give you is perspective.
Yeah.
But also, friends can also be controlling.
Yeah.
But I think you've got to know when they're being controlling. Like, sometimes, I don't know, I think a lot of guys think that there's always like, oh, your friend wants you to break up with me, not you. But it's like, nah, man, I think she just wants to break up with you, but the friend is the only way she can really synthesize it.
Yeah.
And I think that'll happen the opposite way around, where like, a girl will be like, oh, I really like, I don't want him to break up with me, but I just can't talk to him. And like a girl will send her friend to talk. Like, it happens, like guys will people will send each other's friends forward to speak for them as an advocate.
Yeah.
But it's like, that can happen, but also friends, positive friends especially, will give you direction as well as can ground you.
Yeah, and they can help you. Like, a good friend will say, nah, you're being whack right now. Like,
yeah,
you know, if you're like...
A good friend will be honest.
You know, if you're like... My girlfriend was wearing pants that I thought were too short. I told her she couldn't wear them, and then she got upset. She's just a bleep bleep. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, like
a good friend would say, you're being an idiot right now.
Yeah.
You shouldn't care or decide what she does or wears in that respect.
Yeah.
And also, don't speak about her like that. Like, a good friend should tell you that sort of thing, you know? Like, a bad friend will be like, oh my God, she's so bad. Like, I hate her so much. You should probably break up with her. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like people who go to the extreme are probably not good people to be friends with.
No, exactly.
It's like the extreme of just like, you gotta like, like I think, especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time and it's led to good results, and you have like a few bad moments, you've just got to you just got to get back on it and just keep going forward.
Need to work.
You just got to work you got to make sure that the relationship is healthy, because the relationship is an entity of itself.
I like to do like, health checkups basically, like you think of your relationship almost as a person. You do
exactly.
You do health checkups. You're like, okay, is this...
And I think that's what goal setting does.
Yeah, exactly. It provides a good measure for where you were, where you are, and where you wanted to be.
And I think...
And how far did you get towards that,
Yeah, and I think gauging each other's goals will always keep the other person's priorities in mind.
And
it'll be like... Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you know what the other person's goals are in life, you're going to know them well.
Yeah, and
like,
if your goals are similar or aligned, oftentimes you're going to be like, oh, cool, so we're moving in the right direction. Together well,
Yeah, because you're just going to always, like, if your goals are a priority, you think about that even once or twice a week, you're not going to have a lot of issues.
No, and if you're talking through the goals and working with them, with your partner, but also independently, then you're just going to know you're two people who are working together to a common mission
and who like each other.
Yeah.
Because you got to make sure that you're always telling each other that you like each other and why you like each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if you do like that is
if you get to a stage where you don't think you like them, doing that will make you like them. Like, probably. If you want to like them, like,
you probably would. Yeah.
If you want to like your partner and you've been with them for a while, but you're like that sort of,
And also have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a lot of fun.
Have fun.
Do fun things.
If everything is boring, you're going to be like, damn, my relationship is boring.
Yeah.
But if you have fun, you're going to be like, wow, I actually have fun with this person.
Yeah,
and
like,
they're really fun.
Literally do fun things for like no reason. Just go do something funny.
That will also just chemically like connect to people as well. Just like, doing fun stuff will just...
I mean, there's like, I think there's 3 big points in that. And I think, like, number 1... just say nice things to each other.
Yeah.
Number 2, set goals. And number 3, have a lot of fun. Just have a lot of fun with one person, laugh together, and just like work. Like, I think you've got to be together.
Yeah.
And I think
And the cool thing about the goals thing,
and I think independence will be kind of a natural thing that you just should allow. Like,
yeah. Independence can even be one of those goals, you know, like one of my goals is to maintain my relationships outside of this, you know.
Yeah, maintain my friendships.
Yeah,
because you've got to keep the friendships. Exactly. Like, I think to be a functional human, you've got to have quite a few things. And I think you've got to have friendships. You got to have the tribe, and you've got to have a lot of people around you of different worlds and different thoughts and different minds. And you can't, like, I think if you're a 20 something, you know, an early 20s male, you've got to have more friends that are not just early 20s males.
Yeah.
You got to have early 20s females, early 20s non-gendered.
Yeah, non-binary.
You've got to have,
non-binary people.
You've got to have maybe your, some 18-year-old, 19-year-old friends to help. You've got to have some 30-year-old friends to help you.
Yeah, to give you some good, like, advice.
You've got to be nice, got to be nice to your parents and keep them in your priorities, as well as make sure that they keep you in your in their priorities.
As long as they're, decent people and not treating you bad or anything.
Yeah, like in an idyllic world where you have nice parents, you should always make sure that you're helping your parents and your parents are helping you. But yeah, I think it's good to have like some friends that are just a little younger, just a little older, and then like other people in life as well.
In life, life is a big boat. In that big boat, you have your friendships, and then you have a little ship that's your relationship.
Maybe life is a sea, I guess.
Yeah, life is a sea. Yeah,
you don't keep a lot of ships in a boat.
You have a big ship, which is like a cruise ship, and that's your friendships.
Maybe you have rooms,
and then you have like a little ship, which is like your life vessel or something. That's your relationship. Okay. Without the big ship, your friendships, your relationship is just in the ocean alone. Okay. But when you have that friendships, which is like the cruise ship, you're in the big ocean, but you're also on a big ship. So it's like a lot better, and like
I think the idea of boats inside of other boats is really confusing.
It's like if you're on a big cruise ship, you've got those life vessels, like the canoe boats and that. Like
I guess so. I think maybe say like life is like an ocean,
and without
we're
that,
all in different boats.
Without the friendship, without the friendship, the relationship.
Maybe it's more like we're little islands with bridges to each other.
Yeah. True. I just like the ship part because friendship and relationship.
Maybe I don't know. I like the metaphor, but visually it really confused me. I'm thinking of a boat with other boats on the boat. Well, it's like
the Titanic. They had to row away with something. You have your little boat, and that little boat you can also use to escape when you're sticking your friends.
Maybe you can maybe it's this kind of. Yeah, like a pod. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a pod. Yeah,
it's like a pod, and you can leave. Like when you're talking to your partner, you're on the boat, and you're coming back to the boat when you come back to society. I don't know. It's very hard. I don't think that works.
Either way, maybe life is like a sea.
But maybe just think of like life is this like holistic existence, and then within that existence, you have to kind of connect with the other spirits of your world.
Yeah, exactly. Life is just a box of chocolates. You gotta eat the other chocolates to have a good belly.
I feel like the idea of life is like a box of chocolates is weird to me because like you will know what you get. It says on the outside. Like if you just look at the chocolate before you eat it, you gotta know what it is. Like if I don't know what a crunchy is, bro.
If Forrest Gump was made in the 2020s, it will be life is like a blind box. You never know what you're gonna get.
Life is like a Labubu.
Life is like a 24-karat gold Labubu.
No, Life
is like a blind box.
I imagine like the Labubu becomes like this kind of like that Labubu is like the only thing that exists. Like after like
Labubus become like a form of currency or something. I mean, they really kind of are in a way. Like
they very much are that kind of like that kind of thing of like commodity. It's like the ultimate commodity. Like, well, that's what they're designed for.
Yeah.
It's weird that China would make. Well, China makes every commodity.
China makes awesome commodities. China is like the commodity king. Like
I know, it's weird. They've tricked us.
They're like, oh.
And I support them for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not that subservient to commodities.
Yeah.
I think
I try not to be. Obviously, there are some commodities that I probably get caught up in, but.
Yeah, I'm like so like I feel like I've just naturally fallen away from all of that kind of
the major commodity that I'm certain I do not subscribe to or get trapped in is the commodification of people, and that can happen in relationships and like friendships.
I think that happens more when you're single.
It happens more when you're
like,
single,
I feel like people in relationships...
You can very much treat your relationship and your partner as a commodity still. Like,
but I think that's a good way to do things. Like, in the way of, like, it's got... Like, a commodity is something with no value, but you ascribe lots of value to it.
Yeah, but I mean the commodification, though. Like...
Oh, so, like, it's more just, like, this kind of allusion to other people, do you mean?
In
like,
a sense, but also this, like... You shouldn't be, like, necessarily ascribing a value to your partner. Like,
oh yeah, you
in
should,
a sense of you're judging their value for something.
They should only ever have the second highest value in your life.
Yeah.
The highest value should be God.
Exactly.
I mean, if you don't believe in God, maybe they should be the second highest value to life itself.
Yeah.
I think atheists kind of believe that life itself is the most precious thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they think of like moral compass and life,
yeah, morality comes from
should be
outside of religion. It comes more from
if that's your if that's the vibe, then that should be your number one, and then your partner should be your number two.
Should be your number two in the way of like they should be. Yeah, always in your mind.
But yeah, I also mean not just commodification, but sort of this transactionalization.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which you're ascribing a value.
Which I reckon that's where a lot of controlling people would be in.
Yeah. It's sort of also this aspect of if you think transactionally or in like this weird market where you're like, I did this act, so you have to do another act for me.
Yeah.
You don't just do it because you like the person or because you want to serve them or because you want to, be nice or whatever. You do it because you think of some transaction, so you're going to get a reward for that or some sort of, benefit for that.
Yes, I see what you mean.
You do the dishes and you're like, oh my God, I did the dishes.
Kiss?
Where's my kiss? Or,
I literally did the dishes. Like, what's wrong with that?
Men do this a lot more than women do, I would say, from at a baseline. But generally, if you're a man, your partner, if you're like a straight man, your partner, she's going to be like, she's a woman, and she's just going to be like, oh, you need help with something, or like the house is dirty. I'm going to do something about that. But, a lot of men are very lazy and they see like the house is dirty. They're like, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. And they
don't try very hard to actually help people.
Because of their upbringing or because of just who they are. They're like, no, actually, I don't need to do this because my mum did this for me. Yeah. And they sort of weirdly project their mother onto their girlfriend, and they're like, no, my mum worked and she cleaned the house, so my girlfriend should work and clean the house.
Like, especially if you don't have a critical analysis and you're like kind of a liberal, like you'd probably be stuck in that Freudian way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you're not like
believing some weird like authority that you have or some weird like value that you give by doing nothing. Like, you're not providing value to a relationship if you're just messing up the house and not doing anything.
Well, yeah, and you're not adding value to any aspect of your life if you're doing the same thing in every other aspect, which you probably are.
If you're doing it in your relationship, you're doing that in every other aspect because of dialectical material.
Like if you're not trying to be helpful or productive in any way, in your own home,
you're probably also going to be doing that in your job. You're probably going to be like trying to slack off, do whatever you can in your job.
Yeah.
And look, hey, that's fine. You're probably underpaid anyway. Companies underpay you, so you get the value that you pay for. As a company, if you're underpaying your employees, you get what you get. But that's why unionism is really important. Join
your union.
Join your union.
I think make your relationship a union.
Yeah, exactly. That's why marriage is a union.
Marriage is a union. I think what you need to remember is that unions. When one person is under attack, we all fight back.
Exactly. We stand up, fight back.
We stand back, fight back. I think, maybe there is something about like there's a point of like relationship power. Like you need to have like
two
your
people
relationship
need to be strong with each other.
It needs to have a lot of power. Yeah.
Like, I don't believe in the power couple because that's like a very,
Oh, no. The power couple is more like
but I believe just in having becoming the power wealthy, as a couple,
Yeah, you need to have the power as...
And being like, I got you, you got me. We can like just stand up against
and just compromising on thought. Yeah. It's like, oh, I want to do this today. You want to do that. It's like, well, I'll just do what you want to do. Yeah. Like that, like just thoughts like that is easy.
You think back to like last weekend and you'd be like, oh, well, she did what I wanted last weekend, so I'll do what she wants this weekend. Like,
it's not too bad.
It's a give and take. It's like, oh, look, I don't necessarily, like, for me, I'm going to Japan with my partner in like 3 weeks on the day.
Yeah.
We're going to Tokyo, and we're going to Sanrio Puroland, which is like a Sanrio theme park.
Hello Kitty is
It's
there.
like Hello Kitty and all that. Like, I don't love Hello Kitty, but I love my partner, so I'm just going to go along.
Hey, it'll just be cool anyway.
I'm going to eat a Hello Kitty curry and I'm going to enjoy it because she enjoys it. You know what I mean?
Exactly, you'll be fine.
It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because I like it, but because she's having
You
a
got
good
to be
time.
that moral support.
You've got to be like there to like vibe with them, even if you don't love like.
Even if you don't like what they like, you know, it's
just-
just fine to be
you
there.
Find a reason to enjoy being there.
Yeah,
Even if it's just for the fact that you're there with the person you love.
yeah.
That's enough reason to enjoy being there.
That's a good reason.
You know, like.
Yeah, you'll always run into things in life that you don't want to do, but it's best to just.
And if you're doing something that you don't like with a person you like, it's a whole lot better than doing something you like with a person you don't like. You know, like.
I've done that a lot in my life.
The best day of your life with the worst person is going to be a bad day, but the worst day of your life with the best person.
Like even doing something that you like with someone you don't like sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, exactly.
You're just like, man, you're ruining the
Vibes that you're just going to be like, you're ruining it. You're ruining it. You know, like, your head's just going to be like, what? I should be happy right now, but I really don't like this person, so I'm having a bad time.
Yeah.
But then if you're like, damn, life is kind of bad right now, but I have the support of a really good person in my life, then you're like, this is still bad, and I'm still not having a great time because of this thing.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm doing like 100 times better than I probably would be.
Yeah.
In this particular situation, you know?
Yeah.
And a good relationship will also just, in my opinion, improve your life.
Yeah,
If two people are working together to improve their life and they're in a good relationship, my opinion is it's almost never going to fail that you're going to improve your life.
Yeah, as long as you keep a lot of things in mind.
Yeah,
like those things that I said earlier.
Yeah, those things in mind. But, you know, like me and my partner, this time last year, I had actually $0 to my name. I made some like silly financial decisions, and then like my job kind of fell off, and I just wasn't getting that many shifts. We worked together, we figured it out. Now I'm paying rent in this house, and she's paying groceries.
It's a big house.
It's like a 2-bedroom, 2-story, 1.5 bathroom townhouse that we're fully just paying. We pay our own bills. You know, we couldn't have done this time last year. We're saving for a Japan trip.
Yeah.
We're going on a trip to another country.
And I've been in very similar situations.
Exactly.
Like I was in a situation where I think what happened, I didn't report for Centrelink in like a long time.
Yeah.
I ran out of money. I had money from my job that ran out, and then that was back when I was working.
That was back in
and then I actually like fully went into the negatives, and I had no other dollars to my name.
Yeah.
And I was with Jade in the Grilled, remember?
I remember that.
And then, I had nothing, and I think you had like a $50 note at the time. You just gave me the $50 at the time, and like Jade was super chill. I was like freaking out, but she was like, it's all right, you'll be fine.
It'll be okay. And
find a better job.
Look where you are now. Like,
go to Centrelink, figure yourself out, and and it just worked. And then now, I mean, obviously, the idea of having no money at all, I'm like, that is such a wild thought to me. But like, at the time, it was like, damn, I just fully ran out of all of the money I have. But it's like nowadays, I'm like, even if I get like a low-ish, and lowish to me is like $100 in my main like spending account, I'm like, I'm out of money. But it's like,
it's good sometimes to think of it like that though, because that almost partially protects you. Yeah. But you also like I think you also have to be privileged enough to be in that position. Like obviously you work like. You're working at Centrelink, you work a full-time job. Yeah. Like that's how you have, more money that you have right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I work basically full-time. I work 6 to 7 days a week. I do uni as well.
Yeah,
but like
I work 6 to 7 days a week as well.
Yeah,
because photography, I do it on the weekends, and editing the photos,
that's sort of
videos.
The only reason that we have what we have now.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like I went from like negatives to...
I went from owing my parents like $12,000 like September last year. This time last year, I owed my parents $12,000.
Because of the cruise.
Because we were going on a holiday that I could not pay for, that they wanted me to go to, and I'm glad we did it, but like... Yeah. And then look, we turned it around.
Yeah.
We managed to do it.
Yeah, there's been times, like there was a point where I had a $5,000 loan that I took out from the bank, and I lost my job. and I had to pay the loan off with my Centrelink.
Yeah,
not
I
my
remember
income from my actual
your Centrelink payments from your
from my youth allowance.
Yeah,
and like a quarter of that was going to thing. A quarter of the thing of my youth allowance payments every fortnight was going to paying off that loan, and then the rest of it, and then the other quarter was going to paying rent. So I had half of it left, and then the other half, I was paying Spotify, my phone bill. I was like, I don't know how I made that work.
Yeah,
I actually
we somehow during that time we just rubbed two sticks together, and
I think and we were always well fed.
For some reason I don't know.
I think because we worked with food.
Yeah, we actually probably
then if we were working and the other person wasn't, we just steal the food and give it to them.
Yeah, because back then they were super happy for us to just take food.
They were a bit laissez-faire.
They were like, oh yeah, just take food.
I think that's oh yeah, cool. I'm just checking the time.
Yeah.
I can't see it from back here very well.
Yeah, I can't see it from back here either.
Yeah, no, because I think what we did was just food was not that. It's not that hard to get food, and I remember
if you're working at a food place,
I remember you were living on the college, and we just drive to Aldi and buy the $2 dinners.
I remember that. Yeah,
you'd be there was times where if your bill was over $20, you'd be like, I'm not gonna make this work. I was just damn, I'll just pay for it.
I'd buy 10 meals. I'd be like, oh, I gotta make this work.
Yeah, I remember that
because I remember I was getting I went from getting a good amount of shifts at the uni in the cafeteria to getting 1 or 2 shifts a week, and then having to pay the rent at the uni, and then also just study and
you're probably still not eligible to get youth allowance.
No, because basically my parents
earn too much,
bit too wealthy. Ooh.
But
that's okay.
I understand the logic of it because there are kids out there who would probably game the system if they took away that. And also, you would
expect, the government would expect that the parents would help.
Especially because, you last year, you were just 19 or 20 at the time.
Yeah, I was.
You were still really young.
September last year, I turned 20, so I'm 21 this year.
Yeah, you're 21 now. So you were only super.
When you're
19, 20, 18 to 19, it's
And I had to move away from I had to move away for uni at 17. You know what I mean? I turned 17. Oh no, I turned 18 in September of the year
that you started.
My first year of uni.
Yeah, you were
I was 9 months into uni when I started.
You were really young, but you were very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
And I was what?
I think I was
I was 8 or more hours away from my family at that time because my family was in Dubbo.
Really? And then they moved to Warwick.
And they moved to Warwick eventually. Yeah, a year or something later, or whenever. Oh, nice. I don't even remember, but
okay.
But yeah, so when I first moved away, I was just here with my sister.
Yeah.
And then then we're just figuring it out, just trying to truck it out.
That's wild. It's wild to move somewhere by yourself, especially in your
because she moved first.
Yeah.
So we came up here to help.
Do you know what? Can't you now teach me to drive?
I can.
Yeah.
A year ago, actually, a bit less than a year ago.
Yeah.
I got my open license, so I can teach you to drive.
I just remembered that. Wow.
That's awesome.
Because I remember you kept saying October, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, October 27, I think it is.
Yeah, there's always this thing with thinking with time, it's August, by August 2025, me and Lou will be living in the house. Together. And I remember
actually ended up happening in June or something.
Yeah, I remember you saying that to me in at this the start of the year, and I'm oh yeah, man. In my head that was so far away.
Yeah, and then
I
it's
look
now
at the date, I'm
October.
it's the 1st of October. It's the 1st of the 10th month of the year already.
Yeah, it's been 2 months since August, and it's been 3 months since July.
For me in my head, you moved into this house the other week.
Yeah, even though it's been
Jade moved into her house the other week to me.
Yeah,
but I'm holy moly, no, it's been a while. Yeah, damn, time goes by. I think the thing is especially weather wise, because it's spring now, it's just so hot.
Yeah, I'm warm.
I swear a couple of days ago it was really cold. In my memory of
I was under the blankets a couple of days ago.
Yeah, a couple of it feels maybe it probably was just a couple of weeks ago that it was really cold. You couldn't do anything.
Yeah. And now I see my car tells me it's 29 and I'm like, what the hell?
You're damn. Yeah, it's so weird how things I think time goes by. Especially when you're just having fun, but also just living.
Just working and studying or just doing stuff. being busy you'll look back and you'll be like, damn, I've actually 10 months has gone by and I've been working and studying.
You've got to always make sure that life and like kind of your own free way of doing things always comes between the work.
Yeah, and you can't let it pass you by. Like,
no,
it's super easy to let it happen, but you got to like.
I think that's
you got to set like weekly things that you want to do. In the very least weekly, so that you can look back.
You've got to have your weekly rebellious.
You know, you got to look back and you can look back in your year and you can be like, oh, okay, on average, I had like 52 moments of rebelliousness. Like, you know, like I rebelled against my life.
You don't even have to quantify it like that.
Yeah, no, but you can just be like,
I think there's kind of this quality that you can have alternatively of like, man, last weekend was so good.
Yeah,
or like, you know, I think without relying on kind of like drugs or alcohol to kind of have a good life, you can definitely do it. Like, you know, you can do it like a nice clean way of just like, let's go watch movies. Let's just hang out with friends and watch movies. And,
exactly.
Let's just play games and just joke around for a bit.
Exactly. Like, you're going to have way more fun and then you're going to remember it.
Yeah. Like, you've got to like fill your weekends with as much fun as possible, or your afternoons. Like,
whatever time you have free away from like your responsibilities and your like monotonous, like the monotony of life.
Be fun, you know.
Be fun.
Because like you've got to be like there's like the Freudian aspects of the self. There's like the 3 tiers. You've got the id, which is like the ultimate, just no rules, no nothing, no structure. The ego, which is kind of just yourself, and the super ego, which is the follow the rules, follow. I think you'd have to look it up, the good like the proper definition. But you've got to kind of marry the two and kind of have that like independence and freedom, and especially like in your relationship. You know, you've got to have that wild, like just go the 3 tiers self, and then like Freud. Is it? You got to get that Freud one.
Yeah, id, ego, and super ego.
Yeah, we'll have to get the definitions. Is there like a good, easy definition?
So the id is like,
according to Freud,
the component of personality that is present from birth. It's unconscious and it includes instinctive and primitive behaviors.
Yeah, it's like wild.
So that's just doing like whatever comes instinctively to you, following your whims, basically.
Yeah, which can lead you to be pretty wild.
It's driven by the pleasure principle. So your immediate gratification, and you're like, okay, I want to do this. Okay, I want to do that. I want to do this. It's if you're not meeting that need, you will get tension and anxiety. Okay. That's sort of the theory of it anyway. Yeah. So it's like, it's just based like your instinct, your primitive instinct. Like eating and even like sex in a sense, like can be part of that. But then you have the ego, which is developed from the id, and it ensures that your impulses are presented in an acceptable way. Yeah. So your id would tell you, like in this theoretical world, like, your id, which is more like your monkey brain, would tell you, go and just like right now quit your job and go have sex with a woman. Like, I don't know, like, but then your ego would be like, maybe we finish our job at 5 p.m., go home to our girlfriend, and then have sex. No. Yeah. But, just, it's sort of...
That's a good way to synthesize those ideas.
It's sort of, it functions in the unconscious, the pre-conscious, and the conscious mind.
Yeah, cool.
So it's sort of like that bridge between your
That's what I mean. It's like that middle zone.
Yeah. And it's just sort of, it's responsible for dealing with that reality, basically.
Yeah.
So it's basically an awareness of your personality.
Yeah.
So you're basically cohesively going, I want to do this, but should I do this?
Yeah.
It's making sure what you want to do, you're doing it in an acceptable manner. And then you
regulated.
Then you have your super ego, which is, it emerges later because it's sort of, you're more developing as a human. It develops, you start developing it when you're like 5-ish.
Yeah.
And that's like your moral standards, like you get that from society, your parents, whatever you watch or acquire, like, engage with. Mm-hmm. And that's like your guidelines for making judgments. That's like your lizard brain, or like your frontal lobe sort of thing. Like there's like this brain that goes, let's not do that. We want to do that, but we actually shouldn't.
Yeah.
Or even if it is socially
Critical
or acceptable, you're like, actually, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Even if it's acceptable, it's actually going to be better if we do something else.
Yeah.
You know, it provides that, like, you know, information as to it gives you greater clarification as to this is good, this is bad, this is medium. Like, you know, it helps you in your head sort of provide yourself a
gauge.
A gauge, yeah. You know, you can, your brain goes beep, 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 beep. This is fine, blah, 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 this is bad. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's sort of this self-checking, you know, it basically it's developed from the consequences of like,
we good. Sorry. Someone was talking.
Yeah. So basically it's developed from the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, like what you'll learn over life will develop your superego.
Yeah, based on, you know, like if you get like told off by your parents for something, that has a manner of, you know, developing your superego, because you're going to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't actually pee on my sister's Lego. You know, like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, like
yes, exactly.
Your superego starts to develop whenever you face consequences or learn that something is not a good thing to do.
Exactly, and I think that's what you need to kind of in relationships. It'd be good. What am I saying? I think you need to kind of have that ego and superego knowledge to help with yourself, because that'll help your relationship.
Yeah. It's because it comes across in relationships as well. Like, you know, your id might be like, I just want to sleep right now.
Yeah. Whereas you need to be regulated and kind of like...
ego would be like, oh, let's not sleep for 10 hours. Let's sleep for like 5 hours, because that's acceptable.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like 5-hour nap on the day, or I don't know, like some random thing. But then your superego would be like, actually, a good thing to do right now would be to like unpack the dishwasher or like fold the washing for my partner or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is something that will be helpful and will provide good, you know, not necessarily provide good consequences, because you shouldn't expect anything like in return.
It'll just kind of do well for the structure of the household.
Yeah, exactly.
And that kind
the good consequence will be that both parties have clean dishes or clean clothes or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That's the good consequence.
That are available and orderly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've reached an hour.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening to this.
Thank you for listening to the Uncle Sham podcast.
Few tangents, but I hope you were at least receptive, or, you know, enjoyed what we were saying, or at least, you know, respected it in some way. If you have any thoughts, questions, queries, concerns, feel free to pop them down.
Yeah, and subscribe
for
more shows, because we've got a few shows already, but we'll keep going with the shows.
Yeah, and
especially if you just comment about stuff.
Yeah, feel free to like ask questions, or like
you can
give
message
us ideas.
Yeah.
If you know us personally, message us and be like, hey, you should do this, or I liked this.
And if you'd like to even be on the show.
Yeah, we accept.
We have an open invitation.
Yeah, anyone, as long as you don't say like crazy stuff, like really hateful stuff.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be
alright.
fine.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But I don't think you'd probably listen to the first 5 minutes of this and...
Yeah, and I'm sorry if this was an hour of your life that you won't get back. Next time, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, if you don't like the first whatever minutes of it, just quit.
Yeah.
I
promise you,
if you made it
this is not mandatory.
This
is not mandatory.
Actually, what should people comment? I used to put this in my YouTube videos, like, if you made it to the end, comment this word to confuse everyone.
If you got this far, comment vertigo.
Yeah, vertigo, like the feeling of when you look down and
when you're like, you look down, you're like dizzy.
Yeah, if you guys are are now so elevated in your thoughts and your ways that you will be going forward in life, you will now have vertigo from how dizzy you are with the knowledge.
The dizzying heights of knowledge that you have acquired.
Yeah, and actually, if you have further knowledge, further information that you'd like to put in the comments for us to think about in our next episode, also comment that.
Please do.
And subscribe for more shows.
Yes.
And I think, check us out if you can find us on other things.
Yeah. If not, comment and we'll drop our socials if you want.
Yeah, if you want to know, if you want to talk to us personally, there's probably a lot that we could probably explore with a lot of our viewers that'll be watching this. But yeah, all right, well.
All right. Thank you for watching Uncle Sham. Join the Shamily.
Yeah, join the Shamily today.
Boom.
Actually, should we